Hey guys, so I'm gonna show you another short rail trail. This is a much lesser known rail trail, and this would be technically in the town of Epping, New Hampshire, although the area is called Hedding, and that's because of this campground. There's a campground called Camp Hedding or Hedding Campground, okay? And basically what it was this campground had its own spur railroad going directly from the main line to the campground. So anyone that knows the area, Epping, Hedding, a lot of people don't know Hedding. So this is the main road. This is Caleb Highway. You get off on 87 right here, okay? And you go down 87 or Hedding Road, and you'll come to right here. This is called Victoria Drive. You want to pass this end of it though. You want to go down here to this entrance of Victoria Drive, okay? So when you pull over right here, and I can't see it because when I went to the street view, it didn't give me any times a year where you could actually see through the foliage or when there wasn't any foliage. But trust me, so there's a place to pull over right here, and there's a gate. I believe it's a yellow gate, whether it's orange or yellow. I can't remember. This was over a year ago, but I believe it's a yellow gate, and that's the trailhead. Now, I'll skip over to here to show you that the gate is here, but you're also going to see a dirt road here, okay? And right there you can see that, and that's called Birch Road. That's a abandoned road, I guess. They stopped using it for some reason. I don't know the reason, but the tracks, the former tracks and the road pretty much meet right here on Mast Road. And this is the Rockingham Rail Trail, so this would have been the main line. So the idea was, rather than pick people up, because this camp opened in, I don't know, the late 1800s, 1863 or something like that. So rather than take a stagecoach, right? So rather than get off the train here at the Hedding train station, which is no longer there, I don't know the exact location, it was in here somewhere, and then take people up here. There's a lot of like different angles of these roads and intersections and stuff. They just thought it would be easier, quicker, and safer just to build their own railroad right there. So right there is Rockingham Rail Trail. There's a parking lot right there too off Mast Road. So we'll get into all that in a minute. So anyway, when you see that gate, you just enter right there, and you can kind of see the cutout here, but not here. But it is a pretty wide open trail. Not too bad. I did go on this trail a couple times last spring, but I didn't make a video. It rained pretty much all spring last year, so I probably did make a recording and deleted everything because I don't know, there's something about it. And then I wanted to make a video of walking that abandoned road, but again, with all the rain, there's all these huge holes in the dirt road, and it was like a series of ponds through it. It just wasn't worth it. And after that, shortly after that, I had moved. So anyway, you can see the opening here. Now, when you're on this trail here, don't be fooled. That's not the railroad. That's not the spur. That's just getting you to it, okay? So you're going to take the trailer here, and then it opens right up, which you can actually see from here. And then it's a clear, wide path. You can see all the way through here, all the way down to Mast Road. Okay, and there's like another gate down there. You just walk around it. Those are all public trails. Now you can't go through here because this camp, which is still in existence today, is private. I didn't know at first. Like, I drove down here and someone had saw me and started driving up toward me over here. So I just got out of there. But that's what it is. It's a camp that's been around for many, many years, and it is private. And I'll drop you a link if you want some history about the camp. So again, the idea was it would be easier, it would be safer for people going to the camp to get off the main line right here and just take another train directly to the camp. Now, all of this is less than a mile. So that's why it's called a spur. It's the Hedding Spur Rail Trail, because that's all they needed, just a straight shot right into the camp rather than, again, and I don't know what roads existed back then. This one definitely didn't. But it was just taking the road coming from here basically took you away from the camp and then back. So it's kind of a smart idea. And hey, if you got that kind of cash, why not? So that's what they did. Now the cool thing about this, I'll show you over here. Let me give you a street view here in a minute. So again, you can't walk through here. You come in from here, from the road, take the trail to the rail bed. It's kind of grassy. It can be a little thick. It is maintained. It's just the time I was walking it, again, it rained like every day last spring, and they didn't have a chance to cut anything. And it's pretty much surrounded by marshlands. So what I'm going to show you now is right here. Okay, we're going to go down to the street view, because on this end, the street view is somewhat useful. So right here, this is the abandoned road. And again, I can't get I'm sorry. This is the rail trail right here. Okay, this is where it comes out. All right, so right onto Mass Road. And then if you go up here, you'll see to the right, this is the parking area for the rail trail. So the Rockingham Rail Trail runs this way. So I believe the train station was here. I don't know which side it was on, but it was just right in here somewhere. So they would get off the train here. And again, rather than going back up Mass Road and around, they decided to connect the railroad right there. This is the abandoned road, that Birch Road. Now, they do show more dates on here, but it's not a time where you're not going to be able to see through there. Again, less than a mile, about the same length as the Spur Railroad. And it can only be driven on at certain times a year. It says right there, no vehicles over 1,000 pounds, March 1st to June 30th. I did walk it a couple times. It's pretty cool. And I wish I could show you from here, but the cool thing about this is there's no signs of asphalt or anything. Maybe it was just a dirt road. They never did any blacktop or anything. But in here, the whole way you walk, you will see guardrails. There's still guardrails intact through to the other street, which is pretty cool. So yeah, and right here you'll see, again, there's a rail trail. You'll see the orange gate, and that's part of I walked to Rockingham last year, the whole thing. So this is the gate for that. So they would get off the train there and hop onto their little spur railroad to the campground. And it was just a straight shot to the camp. So just some cool little thing there. I'll drop you some links again for the camp and stuff like that. But just a really neat thing that this camp at one time had their own post office. It's basically a little community. It's basically like they're within their own little town, but it is still considered Epping, New Hampshire. But you can see again, and this Birch Road, if I zoom out a little bit, I don't know how it got through here, and I don't know if all this was changed somehow. I can't see how there would have been multiple bridges, because this is all marsh. So if you know the story about Birch Road, let me know, but I'll show you something. You can see the other end of it right here. Birch Road. And if I bring you down to the street view here, let me do this right here, you'll see right here. Let's see if I can find it. I'm getting a little lost. Right here, coming through Birch Road. Boom. See? It's no longer a road. So that road was used, I don't know for how long. I don't know why it was discontinued. I did try to research some things about it. I couldn't find a thing. But maybe, again, it appears to me maybe it was always a dirt road, at least on this end. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. So yeah, that was the whole thing. This camp thought it would be easier, safer, just more convenient to have campers get off the train here at the station and just take a short ride, less than a mile, to the campground. They had their own railroad, and that was torn up, I believe, early 1900, probably yeah, I think it was 1901 when they were eventually, the tracks were all torn up. But yeah, that's it. That's the story. So again, I did walk this rail trail. It's a short walk, but if you're going to be in the area, and if you walk to Rockingham anyway, check this out too. It's nice scenery. There's nothing there. Like, I didn't see any posts, and you probably wouldn't, because again, it's less than a mile. There's nothing to signal there. There would have been nothing to signal. So, and I don't know what it looks like on this end. I was tempted to check this, walk through the woods. I'm like, I bet there's still something there. I bet there's still maybe some kind of a signal. Maybe there's some tracks there, but again, you're not supposed to drive in there, so I assumed you're not supposed to walk in there either. Pretty private place, actually. Pretty cool. All right, so if you know the area and you know more about the campground, I'll drop a link anyway, but there's always people who know, information here and there, and they have their own stories. But and especially this Birch Road, walk Birch Road. It's kind of cool. If it's dry, I mean, not this time of year, you won't be able to do that. But if we have a dry spring, or whenever we have a dry stretch, because again, there are some massive like pits in here, like craters, like there's puddles. It'd be cool probably for four-wheeling or something, but it's actually difficult to walk if every one of those is full of water, because you're just kind of hopping, boom, 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 boom. And I try to stay up on the edge. And another cool thing, again, there's a guardrail. The guardrail is still there. All right, that's it. That's my next look at another rail trail, and that's what I'm doing. I uploaded videos when I walk these rail trails. Some of them are pretty obvious, where to go, where they start, where they end, multiple parking places. But some of them like this are a lot of people don't even know about. And since I already walked it, now I just make these saying, okay, here's your best bet. Go here, go there. This one, you can access it from either end. It doesn't really matter. If you feel better parking in the rail trail parking lot and then access this, then fine. If you're okay with just parking on the side of the road over here, which as far as I know you can, because I did. But there is space to pull over right there, and there is the gate. So that gate signals to you that that is a trail. All right. That's it. I'll stop rambling, and I hope you guys enjoyed this, and leave me some comments. Let me know what you think.